friends, let's make some cake. A summer cake. Today we're going to make a cake. We're going to make a fun summer cake. We're going to make a lemon thyme cake. And I've never made one before. I've made lemon thyme cookies, made a lot of cakes. So I thought this should be really good for summer. And it was just hankering lemon and thyme. So we're going to try it out. So right now we're going to go ahead and grease our pan. I chose to use this pretty flour pan. I wanted to mention some of my habits with pans. So many years ago, I did a lot of baking of cakes. And I've accumulated a lot of plans. I have plans to make a lot of cakes. I've accumulated a lot of pans over the years, and you know where those pans are? They're in storage. Yeah. Don't know if you have that same story, but anyway, just like we're into I was into knitting and crocheting years ago. I have bags and bags of yarn, and I don't think I've crocheted in about 6 or 7 years. But anyway, we won't go down that road. But we're going to use this pan today. It's a pan that I've had for a while, and I keep saying I'm going to use it. I don't know. I might have used it once, but I'm not positive. So anyway, we grease that really well. The thing about this pan, it's got a lot of little creases and stuff, so you want to grease it well. And we're going to flour it so the pan, the cake doesn't stick to the pan. But you can pick whatever pan you want. I mean, a bundt pan would be great for this. I have some loaf pans that would be great, because when you think about that kind of cake, I think that would be just a nice choice. It would look pretty, because we're gonna drizzle it with some powdered sugar at the end. But anyway, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna use this pan. So I'm gonna put a tablespoon and a half of flour, and we're just gonna go ahead and shake that around, make sure everything's good and coated, and we'll see if I'm gonna like the outcome of this. Now I'm making a big mess. We'll clean it up, but I really want to get those edges and those tips, because I can see it did pretty well. Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay here. So I'm gonna set this aside, because we don't need this until we're ready to fill that. And let's clean up a little bit. All right, cleaned off a little bit of that flour, made a huge mess there. So I've made a lot of cakes. I'm going to just start out before. So I kind of put together this recipe, and I'm thinking it's going to work. Sometimes, if you want a different flavor profile, you can look online. There's lots of recipes, and I kind of did that, and I was like, let me adopt some of the things that I think I want and that will work. Sometimes your ideas work, sometimes not, but you got to try, right? So, and I just was hankering this. So grease the pan, oven's preheated at 350. Now let's go ahead and mix our flour ingredients. Excuse the head. And we'll get that mixed together and set that aside. So I've got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And just dump that in there. Oh, let's see if you can see. That might help. And I've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to just take a little whisk. And I just want to incorporate this really well. Oh, I need a little bit of salt. So let me stir that. And we need about 1/4 teaspoon. So get my measuring spoons. There we go. Need a little bit more. It's getting hot. It's starting to get hot. No complaining. We've had a long spring, a lot of overcastness, and today the sun is shining nice and bright, and I don't know what the temperature is, but I live on the 3rd floor, so my apartment gets hot. And we don't have air conditioning because, you know, we live in the Pacific Northwest, and it doesn't really get up north here in Washington. It doesn't get too hot. So it's like, do I just need air conditioning for a few weeks? Maybe one of these days. So I'm going to set this aside. I always drop my towels. I'm going to set them over on the side. And next we're going to do is start to prep some of our other ingredients. So let's see. We've got 3 eggs at room temperature. I've already measured out the sugar. Let's zest. We're going to need about 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. And I've already pre-washed my lemons. I always soak them in a water bath with like a quart or so of water and a couple of tablespoons of white distilled vinegar. So let's go ahead and zest. I'm thinking I need 2 or 3. And I'm just taking that outer rind for the zest. Try not to get the white part, which is bitter. It's called the pith. But it's smelling good already. So can you just imagine this dessert on a nice summer picnic or a ladies' summer get-together? A nice little summer morning sitting out on the patio with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or even iced tea. This would be great for a nighttime refreshing dessert. Now there's different ways you can top this, and I still haven't totally decided. I think for this video I might just do the powdered sugar. I might do like a little lemon powdered sugar. Let's see. Got that one about done. Let's go on to another one. Let's use this one. But I've made a lemon cake before, and I made this nice drizzle over it with like lemon yogurt, powdered sugar. I'm trying to think what else was in it. That might have been it. Oh my gosh. Poured that over the cake. I think it was like a pound cake type of, like a lemon pound cake. Oh my gosh, that was so good. So we could do something glazy, but I don't know, in the spirit of keeping it light and fresh, maybe just the powdered sugar. I think it all depends on what kind of mode you're in, right? Yeah, I'm gonna need 3. I guessed it right. I washed 3 lemons, thinking I'm probably gonna need 3. Probably takes the longest part. We'll zest up that last lemon and we'll continue on. I've got the lemons all zest, so let's go on to cutting up the thyme, and then we'll juice those lemons for the cake. So just getting some fresh thyme here, and need about a tablespoon. So thyme, you can get it in the produce section of your grocery market. They have these prepackaged ones, and they're like they're on a woody stem, these little tiny leaves, and they got like a real fragrant, earthy, citrusy type of note to them. And what I'm basically doing, actually, let's put this over the bowl here. And it doesn't matter, I used the same lemon bowl. And we can put the leaves. So I'm basically gonna hold the stem. You just start at the top and you just slide your finger down the stem, and the little leaves come right off for you. When on the top part of it, it's kind of flimsy, so they're harder to get off there, but yeah, we just need about a tablespoon or maybe 2. We'll see. I've seen so many different recipes, and some using a very lot of time, some not that much. But I was like, I feel like you need at least 1 or 2 tablespoons. Being it's the first time I'm making this, I'm like, do I want to be careful and not overdo it? Because you can't take it away once you put it in there. All right. So I'm going to go and strip these down. And then when we have enough, we'll chop it up. I've got those leaves off the stems. And now I've got quite a bit of leaves here. I'm going to go ahead and chop them up. That way they aren't, I mean, they're pretty small, but also it releases the flavor, the oils in there. And I'm just trying to make sure I get those stems out. I did pretty good. Got a couple little ones in there. All right, so we're just going to put that in a big pile. And we're just going to rock our knife. I should have used my wooden one because this plastic one, this cutting board slides on here. So we're just going to be careful. And I'm just rocking my knife over there. And I can smell the thyme big time. And just smush it together. Another pile. I knew I should have used that wooden one. That plastic one is not good for little jobs like this. This one will work better, I believe. Yep, that's better. Much better. I'm sure I've got over a tablespoon here. I want to chop this nice so I don't have big pieces. Like I said, it's not like it's that big anyway, but this probably will be pretty potent, so we want to disperse that flavor throughout the cake. So I think that's pretty good. Let's put that back in the bowl. All right, we're going to set that aside, and now we're going to go ahead and juice those limes up. Clean up a little bit. There we go. And I need about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Let's see, do I have a measuring cup? Let's put it in here for now. We'll put it in this measuring cup, and then I think I have yeah, here we go, a 1/4 cup. Because this is gonna make a little bit of a mess. We'll put it into a bigger container and then put it back down to a smaller one. So I cut mine up I cut each half up because my juicer, it just works better. So you're gonna just put that in your little juicer. Squeeze down. So you probably need, I would imagine, close to all 3 of these lemons. And sometimes if you roll your lemon a little bit on the cutting board, that will release some of the juices. Sometimes I put it in the microwave for a few seconds, maybe 10 or 12 seconds. And you're going to get more juice if you have the skin up against this little round dome. Let's see how much one lemon gave us. A little over 1/8, so maybe we only need 2. Guess this was a good lemon. Let's go ahead and put this one in here. I thought this lemon cake will be a nice change for some of my typical desserts. I mean, we pretty much, what's the main things you serve at your summer picnics? I know we all do like usually watermelon. Gotta have some watermelon. Maybe popsicles or ice cream, lemon ice, or Italian ice, I should say. I don't think this lemon didn't give us as much juice. But we're certainly going to have enough. Yep. We got plenty, so let me set that aside. We've probably got a quarter cup and a tablespoon or a teaspoon. So let's set this aside. And next we're going to go ahead and cream our sugar and our oil. We're going to put a little olive oil in there. All right, let's go ahead and mix our eggs and our sugar. So I've used 3 eggs at room temperature here. I gotta remember to grab my olive oil. I got a little bit of a shell on there, so let's see if I can grab that out. There you go, you little culprit. I gotta wash my hands. I don't know about you, but when I get an idea on something I want to make, and that's what I like think about it and think about it, and I'm like, okay, gotta just try this. So let's see. My head's a little bit out of the shot, but I really mostly want to get us mixing this up. So let me get my olive oil and use the best olive oil you can afford, because that's going to taste much better. So let's put this. We've got like 3/4 a cup of sugar. And we're going to have that probably on medium. We'll start out at medium, and we're going to add our lemon zest. And we're going to put in some vanilla extract, and we're going to, let's see. I don't think I put my lemon juice in quite yet. No, the lemon juice doesn't go in until after this is mixed. But I do need the lemon zest, the vanilla extract, and the thyme and the olive oil. So we need a 1/2 cup of olive oil. And I use cold pressed extra virgin olive oil. You get a pretty good flavor with that. Of course, you still have to, different brands. Their flavor might be a little bit different than others, so you got to pick the one you like. I'm just using this. All right. Let's do 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. It smells really good. I even put the thyme in there, and we need 1 tablespoon of thyme. I think I got a tad more. I'm just going to put that little bit in there. So it's like a whopping tablespoon. Kind of like I don't know, football minutes, I always say. Football minutes are longer than regular minutes. Well, some of my tablespoon and teaspoons are kind of like that, a little bit more. It smells really good. So we're going to put this on medium high. We'll let that mix a little bit. We'll be right back. I've had that mixing for about 3 minutes on a medium high. Now I'm going to put it on low, and I'm going to add the quarter cup of lemon juice. And then we're going to use a quarter cup. I'm using buttermilk. You can use whole milk or even a sour cream. But I had to use up this buttermilk, so I decided to use that. I'll let that mix a little bit. And then we're going to alternate our flour mixer. We're going to flour and baking powder and baking soda mixture, those dry ingredients. We're going to add those about half, and then we'll add the other half. So we mix this really well. This really isn't going to take too long. You know what? Let's put the lid on guard. So I have so many times I have doused myself with flour. Here it is. It was right behind there. I was looking all around the kitchen. I'm like, what did I do with that? So let's take about half of our mixture. Let's see if I can find another cup. Like we said, we whisk this really well together so we know everything's incorporated. 1, 2. I'll let that mix a little bit on low. I probably should have done the milk first and the lemon juice next, but we'll see if that made a difference. I reread my directions I made to myself, but all right. Let's put the rest of that flour mixture in there. It smells really good, let me tell you already. Can't wait to get this in the oven. And then we'll let this mix a little, we'll scrape down the sides. Yeah, let's turn that off. I'm going to try to get a little close up here for you too, just to, so you can. Let's see how it looks. All right, let's back this up a little bit. I'm going to scrape down the sides. So any of that flour that got up near the top, push that down. And then too, you just want to make sure there's no dry pockets of flour there at the bottom. But it looks like it looks pretty good. Just putting it on a low for, I don't know, what, 20 more seconds. This seems like a small batch. Hope it's gonna fit this pan okay. Maybe I'm gonna need to make 2 batches. We'll see. Okay. I am ready to pour out the batter into this cake pan, and I really think this is not going to be enough batter. I might have to make another batch. Let's see. I mean, I know it'll raise a little bit. Well, maybe I'll be all right. I need a bigger spatula, though, to get this all out, because there's Eh, I think I might be all right. I don't want it over. I don't want it too full because this is gonna rise. I don't know though. Eh, what would you do? I don't know. I think I'm gonna make one more batch. Cause look it. I mean, I know it's gonna rise some, but the only thing I'm nervous about another batch is it's not gonna cook evenly. I'm gonna go with this. If I don't like how it turns out, I will make two batches and maybe do a different pan. So we're gonna put this in the 350 oven. See if I can scrape out any more of this batter. I just had it in my mind. I wanted this little flour, or it's not a little, it's a big flour pan. All right, let's get this in the oven. We'll bake it for, oh, it's probably gonna take less than a half an hour, I think, with this. All right, let's put it in the middle rack. Set the timer on. We'll come back, we'll cross our fingers and see how much it rises. Yeah. We're gonna take the cake out of the oven. It has been in here for about 35 minutes. And I'm glad I didn't fill it any higher because it did raise pretty good. But not only that, it's a little browner than I probably would have preferred, but that middle part was a lot higher the way this pan was. So, but it's good and done now. We're gonna let it cool for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll take it out of the pan. Let's cross our fingers, comes out nice. It smells really good. It is time to powder this cake with some sugar, powdered sugar, and it's nice and cool. And let me get a plate so I can test it. Gotta test it out, of course. And we'll get a little knife and a dessert fork. So I really just want to taste it kind of plain, but I did make a simple syrup, which I let go a little bit, and it's more like almost like a honey or like a caramelized sauce. This was a little bit of a lemon and thyme. The sugar. That's perfect. Ooh, I might put a drizzle of it. That tastes great because I can't just leave well enough alone. So we're going to take our powdered sugar, put a little bit into our, just need one of these little mesh sifters, strainers. Let's pour a little bit in there. And let's just, it's as simple as that. Like I said, this would look really cute with a yellow lemon curd in the middle. I'm kind of generously dusting this. Might go back over it. You don't need frosting on this. I'm putting a little bit of a lighter dusting on the. Let's take a look at that close up. I'm gonna wash my hands; they're a little sticky. I said we could put a little bit of a light lemon Greek yogurt in the middle. You know, wanted a cool, refreshing little dessert. Let's take a look at that. Isn't that pretty? So let's give this cake a try. Let's take a little slice and see if it's lemony enough. And if it's got enough thyme in there. Just gonna go like that. Cut out a little petal piece. Well, let's take a look. And that's how it looks. It has a real pretty color. And that looked pretty for summer. So let's give it a taste. Mmm. Oh, nice flavor of the lemon and thyme. It's a little bit dry because I had to bake it so long. So I'm gonna try it. That's really. Oh, I just gotta tweak it just a tiny bit. Oh my gosh, that's so tasty. Oh, I think you're gonna love this. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this simple syrup now. If I was good and didn't leave the stove, not let this go too long, I'd have a nice thin simple syrup, and I could pour some of this over that cake, and then you'd have to let that dry before you put your powdered sugar, or it'd just be a big wet mess. So let's try it with that syrup on there. Mm. Wow. Wow. Now that's really tart. Oh, but it's good too. So I'm thinking, what do I like better, with or without? I gotta tell you, I like them both in a different way. If I'm looking for more wow, I'd put the sauce on there. If I just wanted it a light, gentle, I'd do it without the sauce. Mmm. Hope you like this video. If you guys like this video, let me know. Because I want to serve you and some of the things you want to make for the summer, whether it's desserts or family meals, special occasion, summer picnic ideas. Go ahead and follow me, and please share this because that helps the word get around, and I'm trying to build up my followers, so I would appreciate it. And I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you get to try this cake, because if you like lemon and you like thyme, this is really a nice combination. So till next time, pardon the pun, we'll see you. Bye-bye.